All right, let's roll. It is either October 26th or the 27th, and today we are going to look at the idea of clue, which is found on assignment sheet 2 that goes with your independent reading book that you're reading. And we will also be reading through Coach Carter. And I want to remind you that vocab set 2 is due the next time. So the next time that you come here to class. So let's back up here, and I want to look at reading warm-ups 110 to 116. So if you would open up to the warm-ups section in your binder and go to 110 through 116. Okay, so everybody get out your binder, open it up to warm-ups 110 through 116. Okay. All right, so we left off last time with pages 102 to 109. So we went over forfeit was to kind of give up or lose. Scowled is kind of to give an angry look. And muffled is kind of quiet. On page 110 to 116, it says match the italicized vocab word with the closest definition or synonym. So Carter tossed the newspaper onto the table. He had just finished reading another angry editorial calling for his resignation. So if it's a newspaper and it's calling for something, is it a manager, a fact, a book, or an opinion? I think you should go between fact and opinion. So if it's a fact, it's true. If it's an opinion, it's a belief that someone has. So if there's an angry editorial calling for resignation, it's probably somebody's opinion that they think that there should be a resignation. So you should circle opinion for editorial, because an editorial is an opinion. The next one, the Richmond players hustled Lyle outside and into the street. Okay, if you hustle somebody out, go, go, go. Are you forcing them, playing them, asking, or staying? Okay, to hustle means to go quickly, but if you're hustling someone outside and it's the Richmond players, they're trying to get him out there quickly, so they're forcing him, so forced. And the last one, Carter walked warily to the front door where someone was pounding, ringing the bell at the same time. Okay, so people are pounding, ringing the doorbell. Are you going to be cautious, confident, energetic, or eager if you're wearily walking to the front door and somebody is waiting for you to answer? Would it be wearily, would be eager, energetic, confident, or cautiously? Probably cautiously, because you're like, who's that pounding and knocking on the door? So it wouldn't be real confident, wouldn't be with energy, but cautiously. Okay, so let's close that at this time. And then I want you to take out your reading sheet number 2 assignment sheet. You can either take it out of your folder if you have it on paper, because I gave it to you on paper, or you can open up to Schoology, and it's in the independent reading folder. So you would have to go to Schoology, and it's in the independent reading folder. Okay, so do that now. Go ahead and get yours out if you have it on paper. Then you can just write right on the paper. If you're using the electronic version, it is under the independent reading folder. And it says assignment sheet number 2. And that assignment sheet number 2 is due on the 4th of November. So here's the independent reading folder. So some of you might be opening it this way and some of you have it on paper. Book study sheet 2. Complete the 2 start items and pick 2 of your own. Okay? So if you forget your sheet in class or in your binder, just open it up here and then you can write your answers. So I'm going to open up that PDF. Okay, and I'm going to get my paper copy as well. Okay, so Maybe you all have a paper copy, but maybe you lost yours or it's at home. So you're going to book sheet number 2. Oops, I grabbed the wrong thing here. That's vocab. All right, so if you look at the PDF that's up on the screen, okay, look at the PDF that's up on the screen or your own handout. This is due again on November 4th, okay? From the list below, complete the 2 starred activities and then 2 on your own. You can write on the back of this sheet if you have the paper copy, or you can just use your own paper. So number 3, select and complete one of the activities. So you either have to do the clue strategy. Remember, the clue strategy is also found in the independent reading folder. And so like C means check the title, author, and any visuals. And so you'd tell about that for C. L means to link to prior knowledge. What do those clues suggest that you just checked? U means to uncover a prediction. So what is the prediction that you're going to make for this story or for the part that you're on? And then E means examine evidence and tell about why your prediction is correct or not, and maybe make a new prediction. So that's what clue means. You don't have to do it 5 times. I'm just going to have you do it once for a section of your book. If you pick that as one of your activities, notice that it says pick one of the following. You can't do the second box because you don't know the part steps. You don't know what that is. Or you can do the third thing, write about a character's hopes, dreams, fears, and expectations for the future. So you're doing the first square or the third square, but you only have to do one of the activities, and you only have to do one clue, not 5 different times of clue. Then you have to do number 6, which you did in sheet 1. Write 3 or 4 sentences below, reflect about the book, and then rate it. And then you can pick 2 of the other categories to complete for your second book assignment sheet that is due on November 4th. Does anybody have any questions about the second sheet? Again, it's found in the independent reading folder. And it is the second one due November 4th. And I also have in here like what clue is. It's right there. But here's book study sheet 2. Okay, so I'm going to move on to something different here. Now we're going to go into the Coach Carter book. Okay, so again, you can shut your folder now. Okay, put everything away and taking out Coach Carter book. Coach Carter. We are on chapter 9 today, so you'll want to turn to page 102. Okay, so you can put your computer away, put your everything away. So we're on chapter 9. Today I'm going to read some to you, and then you'll be reading out loud as a group. Again, you're going to use the ideas of I predict, I wonder. Okay, so like the last time when you read, I predict, I wonder, it's odd that, or a question I have is. So they're in the green box. So when you read before, during, or after, you have to ask one of those things. But let's review chapter 8 because it's been a while. Coach Carter was so happy the team won at the tournament. He went to find Damien in the hotel and he was not in his room. The boys all snuck out to a party and were drinking vodka. Coach catches them since the cab driver knew where the party was. Once the boys were caught, they all headed back to Richmond on the bus and did not stay over in the hotel. Coach was super upset. Then he got the academic records for the boys from the teachers and canceled practice and told them to head to the library. He demanded they act as a team and all had to be passing. Cruz ended up walking out. Then Coach goes to the principal and wants support. She's upset that he locked the gym. Carter ends up showing Damien guys from his school from this old scrapbook to get the point across that about not doing the right things or hanging out with the wrong people make bad things happen, even if you are a star athlete in high school. Things start to sink into Damien's head as he listens. Okay, so we're on chapter 9, page 102. I'll read for a little while to you, and then you guys will read some as well. Here we go. In front of you is a complete survey of your academic landscape, Carter announced as he passed out an individual packet to each player. I have charted a path of improvement for each of you. So coach is trying to get them to get their grades up. See, Lyle demanded, pointing to his packet. I got a 2.5. That's good enough. All of you can improve, Carter replied, unimpressed by Lyle's average. Those of you who are under a 2.3 must improve, and those of you over a 2.3, we challenge you to improve. Lyle sighed. When's this going to be over, sir? We will not play basketball again until the entire team is at a 2.3 or better and all of your teachers report that you are current with your assignments, Carter replied. The players reacted with groans. Top of 103. You're all looking at me like I just woke you out of a wet dream, Carter told them. Is that your problem? Am I killing your fantasy? Carter began to strut around the room. I know you've all got dreams of the NBA and being big ballers with the cars and chains, girls, living the life. I'm not telling you not to dream. I'm just telling you to have a backup. Think college. He picked up a book on a nearby table. Why do I need to know geometry? Think college. Earth science? History? Why? Why do you need to know these things? He sang, selling the truth like a carnival barker. Getting good grades in these subjects combined with basketball talent can get you to college. Why college? If for some strange reason you don't make it to the NBA and you still want to board the train of possibilities, a college degree is your ticket. So he's saying, you guys can all be in college and you might not make it to the pros. See the big picture? You want to live the life? College can get you there. The job, the business you want to own, the house, the family, a way to provide for that family. He tossed the book in front of Kenyon, who looked up. Think college. Page 104. I'm just happy not to be running yo worm, said a few days later. Lyle, Kenyon, and Damien sat nearby discussing their fate. Lyle nodded. True, Dad. I don't know, man, Kenyon said thoughtfully. He seems real about this. Damn, you sure think he's real on this? Yeah, Damien said, I think he's dead real. He knew his father was dead real. He's bluffing, Lyle announced confidently. Canceling practice? Okay, but we 16-0. Ain't no way he gonna keep us from playing against Westminster on Friday. Damien shrugged. After all, Lyle didn't know his father as well as he did. So one thing I kind of wonder, is he going to keep them from playing the game on Friday if they don't get their grades up? 104 at the Stars. The Richmond High School parking lot was packed with TV news vans and satellite trucks. To Coach Carter, it looked as though every news station in the area had staked out Richmond. Mr. Carter, called out a field reporter as Carter walked past the locked gym. Is it unfair to the players whose grades qualify them to play? Basketball is a team sport, sir, Carter replied. We help each other on and off the court. So I find it interesting that everybody has to be part as a team. Top of 105. The reporter turned back to the camera. Coach Carter has taken the lockout to the next level, he announced. Richmond was forced to forfeit last night's game. That will be the first loss of the year for the Oilers, and for now, the lock remains on the gym. So he made them forfeit last night, so they had to lose the game because they didn't have their grades up. You've got Fremont on Saturday, another reporter said to the coach. It's the biggest game on your schedule. Richmond would riot if you forfeited the Fremont game. So I wonder, is he going to let them play even if their grades aren't all up? Sir, Saturday's far away, Carter replied. Thank you. I'm off to work. Anyone still think Coach is bluffing? Worm asked as he and the other players watched the media circus. Lyle eyed Damien. No offense, D, but I feel like going out there and telling those reporters this is bull. Kenyon lifted his eyebrows at his friend. Maybe you should have gone to class. Maybe you should kiss my ass, Kenyon. Lyle snapped. My grades are fine. He should have locked Junior's dumb ass out. Maybe Junior will lock your dumb ass out, Junior suggested. Page 106. Now the boys are starting to get kind of mad at each other because they're not pulling their weight. 106. Lyle's eyes narrowed. Try spelling it first. Kenyon intervened as Junior lunged toward Lyle. Come on, we got to stay together, Kenyon said. June, if you need help, I'll tutor you. Junior scowled. I don't need help. Well, He didn't lock us out for nothing, Kenyon said. We've all been foolish lately, and all y'all know it? The truth silenced everyone, except for Worm, who let out a giggle. Lyle wheeled on him impatiently. What? Junior, Worm said. You thought it was bad that we all knew that you're failing science, Dog? Now the whole world gonna know. Everyone cracked up as Junior ran after Worm. A tight knot of women were waiting for Carter in his office. You son of a bitch, Maddox's mother snarled when she saw the coach. Ma'am, Carter began, but another woman cut him off. Bethany! Kenyon's mother shouted, let me handle this. Mr. Carter, you selfish son of a bitch. You snake. Her eyes shot daggers at Carter. Don't ma'am me, you snake. Another woman stepped forward, pushing the other two out of the way. Remember me? The large woman demanded, stepping right up into Carter's face. My son is Worm, and after what he's gone through for your team, that you would lock up that gym? Excuse me, Miss Worm, Kenyon's mother said, but you're going to have to get in line. Worm's mother lifted her eyebrows. I don't think so. The women turned back to the coach, everyone unloading on him at once. Ladies, Carter shouted, holding up a hand. Ladies! The room fell silent. I'm more than happy to discuss this with you, Carter said calmly. But please, let's step into the hallway. Let's be grown-ups about this. The women eyed each other doubtfully as Carter motioned toward the hall. After a moment, they filed out. Carter stood at the door politely, waiting for them to pass. Top of 108. Once all of the women were outside his office, Carter spun around, shut the door, and locked it. The muffled shouts and pounding on the door didn't even bother him as he went to sit down at his desk. Young men, Carter said in the library later that afternoon, it's been a long day. All the reporters' cameras. He shook his head, not even bothering to mention the angry mob of parents that had met him at the office or the fact that someone had busted out the windows of his store. Let's take this opportunity to say anything you need to say while the door is closed. This is about us. Bull, Junior griped. This ain't about us. This is all about Coach Carter. We're a basketball team, Lyle piped up, and all I see is you on TV getting famous, eating that stuff up. That's all you see? Carter demanded. The players grumbled in agreement. That's what I see, one of them mumbled. I see a system that is designed for you to fail, Carter exploded. You're so fixed on your stats, I'll give you some. This school only graduates 50% of its students. Half of this school is not even graduating. Only 6% of Richmond students go on to college, which tells me when I'm walking down the hall looking into your classes, maybe one student in that entire class will go to college. Carter paced the front of the library like a caged lion. Gee, Mr. Carter, if I don't go to college, where am I going? Great question. Here's the answer for the young African-American men in here. You're probably going to prison. The players stared at the coach in shock. None of them had any idea where this was coming from. In this county, 33% of black men between the ages of 18 and 24 will be arrested. Carter went on, ticking off the stats on his fingers. 1 in 3. Look at the guy on your left, now the guy on your right. One of you is getting arrested. Research tells us that 7 out of 10 African Americans have been or are in jail or prison. Growing up in Richmond, you are 80% more likely to go to prison than go to college. Carter let the silence that had fallen over the room do the talking for him. He knew that the truth was hard to hear. That's tough math, gentlemen, he said finally, his voice gentler now. Go home tonight and take a look at your life, at your parents' lives. Ask yourself, do you want to be better? If the answer is yes, I'll see you back here tomorrow. I promise to do everything I can to get you to college, to get you a better life. Carter nodded at his players and walked out. He only hoped that some of them had heard him. So I predict that those boys are going to start to shape it up and get their butts in gear so their grades are up so they can play that next game. So we are going to continue at page 110 at the stars, so 110 through 115 together, and you guys are going to be reading out loud and making a prediction. Ask one of these questions before, during, or after reading. Then when we're done, you'll have time to work on vocab set 2. So let me stop the video here, and we can move on.